passengers travelling abroad are reminded to check the flight carry children, luggage travelers, all allowed to pay on the escalators and along walkways.
Caution, you are approaching the end of the conveyor.
final 对不对？那我就先把它撕下来。Sorry, Gail. You're okay.
Overhead compartment. If you would like to use the non-transmitting functions of your mobile phones and electronic devices during the flight, please switch to flight mode and turn off Wi-Fi function before the entry door is closed. For your safety, may we advise you not to use power banks in flight. Thank you.
Very good evening, dear passengers. This is Captain Wang Wei speaking from the flight deck. On behalf of the China Airlines and our entire crew, we'd like to welcome you on board this flight from London to Taipei. Our crew are fully ready for departure. However, due to the airflow control, we need to wait here for another 25 minutes. We apologize for the delay. Thank you for your understanding and the patience.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know whether. They got a Garfield movie.
Garfield 能量时光。
That's why I asked whether you went along the coast, because we got fish and chip shop in Gambia, which is, say, Melbourne, Adelaide, in between.
Oh yeah. So they're on holiday as well.
Yep, one stuff's over there. Yeah, no, we.
各位过境的旅客，如需要协助办理转机手续，请与地勤人员联络。Dear passengers, welcome to Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport. For your safety, please remain seated with the seatbelt fastened until the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off.